Welcome back to the Course Creation Incubator. I'm your course coach, Gina Onativia, and today I want to talk about the differences between online courses that soar and those that kind of flop. Now, that might sound harsh, but where I come from, you tell it like it is. My New York accent is basically shot after spending 15 plus years in Southern California, but that no BS New Yorker still lives and breathes inside of me, trust me. I'll always be upfront with you. And I want you to have a bestseller on your hands, and I know that's why you're here. When it comes to selling online, there is no denying online courses are a big deal these days, especially in the environment we're in right now. More and more people are turning to online. If you're listening right now, you likely know the potential and what's possible when you put out an online course. You're also likely wondering how you could take advantage of that billion-dollar bucket, right? Maybe you're thinking, how do I know if I have a best-selling course within me? After helping hundreds of course creators, I have a pretty good idea of what sells and what doesn't. And today I'm going to walk you through 5 elements that I think are really critical when you're creating a successful course. So I don't want you to just get across the finish line. I want you to get across it with a best-selling course as well. I'm going to try to keep this on the short side as usual. So I'm going to give you 5 elements right now. There's actually 10 elements that I often talk about that really move the needle when it comes to best-selling courses. I've got a PDF that you can download as part of this episode that has all 10. I'll include the link in the show notes. Go to the show notes, check out that link, enter your email, and you'll get the PDF that you could save, print, study. Because sometimes you want to see the information you're getting in written form too. I know I like that. I'm a visual learner. I try to keep these course creation incubators on the shorter side because I know you're busy. You might be running consulting business. You might be doing your 9 to 5, plus you're building your course on the side. You've got a family. You've got parents that you're seeing. You've got kids to take care of. So trying to keep these short and efficient for you. So again, check out that PDF, put in your email. You'll get access to all 10 elements. And by the way, if you ask different course coaches about what's critical in terms of a best-selling course, you'll likely get different answers. So this is my take. Drop me a line at Course Creation Boutique on Insta if you agree, disagree, want to rant, or just want to have a lively discussion. All right, here we go. Element number 1, having a market that's ready to buy. What I mean by that is a market full of potential customers that have a history for actually paying for solutions. I've talked about this in a previous episode, and I'll link to it in the show notes. You may feel like you have a market, but what I'm specifically interested in is a market that's ready to buy. So do you see the fine line between a market that's just kind of sitting there, doesn't really have an urgent need, and a market that's just like salivating for your course? So your market needs to have that urgent pain point or an urgent desire, and they need the help right now. And the fact that they have a history of paying for solutions, this is mission critical. So for example, I have a woman named Amna, who's one of my accelerators. She has an Etsy store. She's been nurturing our audience on Instagram, and they're asking for more from her, right? Because she's adding so much value to their lives. There's an urgent desire there. They need Amna's help with their Etsy shops. There's an urgent pain point. More than likely, these potential students are running their shops and just frustrated that they're not seeing the money come in that they really want. They want the help now so they don't keep wasting their time not selling. Amna has a market that is ready to buy. She's been talking to them, nurturing them, showing them what's possible, and they want to buy from her. And by the way, you know they want it too because she just recently sent out an email campaign, gets 10 founding members right away. That's an amazing first class. Think about it. You want that market that's ready to buy, and that means they're going to have that urgent need, and you have to know that they're already paying for solutions. Then finally, in this step, you want to show them what's possible. Even if you don't have your course done, nurture your audience. Show them what's possible. Make sure they're hearing you and responding to what you have to say and engaging with you. Second element for a best-selling course is, I think, a unique solution. You may be listening right now and worried about whether your course is going to be successful. That's maybe why this episode intrigued you, because you're thinking, I've got competition. I don't know if I can really compete. First of all, you can absolutely compete. Okay, number 1, give yourself some credit. Second of all, competition is good. Competition is healthy. There are a ton of other people already out there doing online courses. So I want to ask you, what's unique that you bring to the table? That's what people are going to respond to. I'm not the only course coach in the sea, right? I'm seeing more and more course consultants offering their 2 cents just like me. Now, when people work with me, they work with me because they like that New Yorker inside of me, right? That's my unique personality. Then on top of that, my unique solution is I bring systems. And if you've been listening, you know I'm all about the systems. And I'm working with you one-on-one. I'm in the trenches with you, figuring out what works for you, how to make course creation work for you, your audience, and the transformation you want to provide. Here's another example of a unique solution. I work with a client named Nicole, who's the creator of Sash Bags. Nicole has a very cool, unique solution to help boutique owners who especially now aren't seeing the traffic that they need. Her unique solution is to show her students how to do live sales, going on Facebook, selling their product live, and showing their unique products that they're offering. She has an entire system for this. It's super cool how she breaks it down and how she walks through it. Her audience has an urgent pain point. They're all boutique owners who aren't seeing traffic or sales right now. Some of them have been selling at farmers markets. Those have been shut down. A lot of people are hurting in retail right now. They've spent money on marketing and it hasn't converted for them. So it tells Nicole they're willing to invest in a solution, especially her unique solution, because it works. And she's an example of that. Let's move on to another best-selling element, number 3, a solution that works for the masses. Now, when I say masses, I don't want you to have this enormously huge base that you're appealing to. I actually want you to have a niche, right? A small, passionate base that you're selling to. And if you're a coach or consultant listening right now, you want to make sure that you have a system for results that can be repeated and can work for anyone who signs up for your course without you being there. That's the key, without you being there. If you're a coach or consultant and you're used to listening to one of your clients and giving them the answers and then customizing each piece, you need to think about how you're going to deliver a solution when you don't get those answers. That might mean recreating your system so it works for many. You might want to start taking notes on the types of patterns you commonly see. What comes out of your mouth when you're talking to clients, when you're talking to students? You'll start to see patterns of results, and you want to capture those repetitions. Now, repetition is amazing because that means you have a system in there that you could then convert to work for everyone else, for those masses that are signing up for your course online. I did a course with a family therapist, Robin, here in San Diego. She has this amazing system for overcoming love addiction, and it's repeatable. She teaches it in person, one-on-one, and it also works for the masses. So think about the repeatable patterns that come up when you work one-to-one that can be converted to all. And you don't have to be in the room. You don't need to have those specific answers for every single one of your students. And by the way, little sidebar, you could also offer a bonus with access to you or say group calls. You don't have to completely abandon your students. However, a lot of times when I work with coaches, consultants, therapists, the outcome is to leverage your time. That means putting out a course with a little less access to you, and that's something to think about. Let's move on to the 4th element of a best-selling course, and that's having the guts to really dive in and take the leap. I mean, take a risk. It takes courage to try anything new. You know this. Especially with course creation, there are so many steps that you need to figure out. It's a different learning process, a different project that you have to take on. It's a risk. I'm never going to sugarcoat that. And you've got to have a willingness to take that on and to stick it out. I think about Elaine, who I coached years ago. She teaches colorists. Elaine took a risk hiring me a couple years ago as her coach. It was an investment. Hiring any type of coach is going to be an investment. She said to me she took a leap of faith when she paid for my coaching because no money was coming in for her courses just yet. But after our time together, she was able to make enough money with her courses to sell her salon in Pennsylvania and move down to Florida, which was her dream. And trust me, Elaine's got guts. Guts for all of us. I want you to have the guts too, to go for it, to take a risk, to trust in yourself, to know that there's something inside of you that's ready for something more. So I think that's equally as important as having a market and unique solution to make sure you've got the courage. And if you don't got the guts yet, and you don't feel like you have that confidence, I want you to create a plan to get there. How can you get a few results, which then prove you can do this? How can you work with someone one-on-one? Work with a group. Work with them for free at first. Get the results. Show them your expertise. Build that confidence. Because I'm telling you, those guts come from results. So if you feel like you're lacking, go out and get them. Then ping me and I'll tell you you've got the results and you've got the guts to do this. All right, let's get to our fifth and final element for this episode, because remember, I believe there are 10 elements. The rest of them will be available in a free downloadable PDF. Check it out in the show notes. Check out that link. So our fifth and final element is having the right support team, because when you have the right team, you could do anything. And I truly believe this after working with so many incredible teams and course creators over the years. And the support team is multi-level. It starts at home with your spouse or your partner, making sure that they are on board. And if you don't have a spouse or a partner, whoever you live with, whoever you're closest to, whoever is invested in your success, your family, your mom, dad, your brother, your best friend, get them on board. Then the next level of support is friends and colleagues who you can pitch and catch to, meaning you can talk to them about ideas that you have. You can get meaningful feedback from them. That's what it means to truly pitch and catch. Then the third level is a hired team, and I'm going to talk about this later this year. This year is almost over, so maybe early next year, because I think this is so important. I have a small but amazing team that I'm so proud of that pushes me, and I push them, and that's so integral to my success. Remember, it starts at home with your family and getting them on board, giving them your why, telling them what your plan is, that you have this market ready to buy, you have a unique solution, you have those results, which then means you have an in-demand course just waiting to be done. Tell them that's what Gina says. Have them listen to this episode and go from there. Okay, so we've got 5 different elements here. A market that's ready to buy, a unique solution that's for the masses, the guts to get you there, and a support team at several different layers. 5 of the 10 elements you need for a best-selling course, in my opinion. I'll see you next week. Make sure to download that PDF that's in the show notes. Please rate and review this episode. It's so helpful in getting this podcast out there. I'd love for you to do that, and I'd appreciate it so much. Make sure you subscribe to the incubator so you don't miss one course creation tip. Until then, go create, be you, and be brilliant, and get it done.